Welcome to the Roundtable Podcast, guys. I am one of the hosts of the show, Antonio. We have our co-host here today. We have lovely. We got Lady B, RW3.
Lovely T skip town again.
Lovely T. She's missing in action. I hope she'll be on soon. But guys, welcome to the show. We've been off for a couple of weeks. Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy belated Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Look at this. Look at the shirt I got.
Black Dads Matter.
Oh, that's nice.
A
Black Dads Matter.
Lovely T done joined us.
Yeah.
Hey.
Right. Yeah, that's a nice shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, because my daughter, she's been in casting calls, man, and she's been modeling for these different designers. So we drove to Chicago last weekend, and what was really nice, man, where, at the show, at the hotel, they had a lot of African-American vendors around, so I just said, you know what, just let me just sew into the businesses, like a hat. These guys made hats. I got a hat, got a Black Dads Matter shirt. Another vendor, my daughter got a little purse. I just think, man, when you sow seeds, man, in people's entrepreneurship, I think it comes back tenfold, especially in our community. And I was wondering, I was like, wow, it was the people who threw it were African-American designers. And my thought is, when we do have such events, we always talk about supporting each other. It was a nice crowd, but it wasn't packed out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like when we have those opportunities, our designers, our vendors, I was thinking about, about promoting and getting out to support those things. So that's the only way we stay in business.
Yeah. And maybe we can have some people come on the show that's Black business, yeah.
You're right. So, yeah. But you know what? I was meaning to tell you that because her mother, your daughter's mother, is always posting her pictures. So I see your daughter's pictures all the time because she always posting them. Mm-hmm. And what I was going to tell y'all is that if I was y'all, I would kind of see in this atmosphere, because what you're doing through is what people we know doing it now. But here's the major thing about that whole thing. You want her to. They're going after people who have a following. That'll never go anywhere. And if you want your strength and numbers and power to be in the industry, now you have to have a following. Yeah, they'll let you so far, but then there's so many people they won't let you in because you don't have that following. So what I would do if I was you guys, I would start getting her into even promoting her own some type of show where she's acting, she's doing little skits. Somebody write her skits, and then you guys they video those skits and build her a page, because that right now you ain't getting. It don't matter. You could be the most beautifulest girl in the world. That don't matter to them if you don't have a social media following where they can subtract them, because they want you to bring your following these days. It's almost like a microwave celebrity these days. They want you to. They want to instantly, and they want you to bring your people with you if you're going to make a real impact in this, because this is a social media entertainment world. Everything is about where your numbers are. So just like Ozzy, when she came on, the only reason why JDM hollered at her because her numbers were high. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. If you don't want to struggle in this industry, you better build you a social media following where she have a fan base, where it's saying that people actually like her. They like her personality, because she could take that wherever she's at. So I would recommend that she do skits. that she if y'all trying to get her into acting, Milo and Diamond doesn't, that's not really a big deal. But if y'all trying to get her into skits or acting, have her to do her own. I'm telling you, a lot of these actors and social media content creators, they're getting on platforms because of them doing it now without the industry. You know what I mean? It's saying that if I didn't have the industry, I still would do it. That's what they're looking at now. And there's a lot of hungry people out there who are doing it without the industry to say, hey, look, I don't really need y'all, you know, and so now they'll come down their way. I'm telling you, there's plenty of them that's doing it. So I would consider getting skits written for her, have her to do little clips and just constantly keep posting them of her doing something and build that page. I mean, it don't take much. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about, I got some plans down the line where I'm going to be getting back into film, but it's only going to be short clips. I'm talking about like almost like 3 to 5 minute clips. Right. But I'm gonna do a lot of them, and I'm gonna pull actors in. But it's gonna be more inspirational than it is just any bull crap. It's gonna be inspirational because I seen it's 2 groups out there that I've seen that's doing this now, and they get millions of hits, and all they do is inspirational. And this one called Let Love Lead the Way. And that's all they do. They come up with scenarios. It don't really preach like Christianity, but they just doing inspirational things that show them, you know, about you can't, you know, do wrong to people and expect wrong not to be done. You know what I mean? It's different, but they get a lot of hits. So I'm considering it. I know it take a lot of work. I'm considering it. But maybe I'll reach out to you in that area to see, because that's what I'm doing, and that'll help her build her following. I'm telling you, and if you're really serious about pushing her in that area, find other YouTubers that's doing it now and pay them. That's what they do. You pay them to get them in so she can start making a voice. This thing it ain't easy. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy. If it was, we all be doing it. It takes, you got to put the grind in there. You got to put the grind in there. I know it because we done tried it with all our kids. So I know it's a grind. It's a grind. You have to stay committed. And I don't think I was consistent. I think if I did, I would have. But I didn't stay consistent with it like I should have. But because we ran to Chicago too much. You know what I mean? That's too much money. You know what I mean? So you know, it was I wasn't as consistent as I should have been in the area. But as long as you do that, you got to take it to that next level to show them that I'm independently don't need you. And I got this fan base, and then they gonna really come hollering at you. I mean, that's how Tyler Perry picking up half of his people. A lot of his people, they coming from social media content creators who's getting in real shows, but they got that following to back them, because that's the new industry. That's it. That's the new industry. If you want that resume, that's the resume they're gonna look for, depending on how. If not, you know, you just, you know, it is what it is. You trying to make it work. But do that, man. I mean, y'all know people, right? Start writing. Buy her a little camera. You know what I mean? Get her a little camera and let her do her own film. Set some skits up for her, and everything. But anyway, guys,
all right. How are you, Lovely T? How was your week?
Hello. Hi. Reporting live. No, I'm just playing. But I am outside in my yard, enjoying the weather, enjoying my hard work earlier this morning. But I would describe my weekend with Frankie Beverly and May's song, Joy and Pain, Sunshine and Rain. Like I've had both the entire weekend, but overall I'm feeling blessed.
That's good.
Her birthday, her birthday had just passed, so she's been partying it up too.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
We didn't know. You ain't tell us. You ain't text us say, "Hey, it's my birthday."
Yeah, happy birthday. Which people normally don't do that.
Yeah.
What RW3?
You've been praying so hard, you probably forgot what was going on. All the partying and hanging.
No. I keep it classy all the time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Classy people don't party?
Yes, but they do it in a classy way.
That's right. Well, guys, you know, this pre-recorded. Oh no, it's not. It's live. When I say pre-recorded, I guess we've been doing so many We've been doing more pre-recorded with her podcast and everything. So I've been doing so much work. But guys, listen, like and share this page if you're interested. The Roundtable Podcast. I forget what I was actually about to say, but anyway, like and subscribe. Man, that
follow us on YouTube.
Yeah, follow us. But it wasn't about that. But yeah.
All right, so check out our website.
It had nothing to do with none of that, but I mean, it was. I guess it'll come back to my memory later on. But anyway, guys, happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers that are out there. We shout out to you. That's why we wasn't on last Sunday, because of Father's Day. We did it for the women. We got to do it for the men as well, right? So all the fathers, we just hope that you're living and doing your doing what you do, taking care of your kids. Hopefully, you know. But anyway. I digress even from that. Let's get into, I mean, you know, so we understand even right now with this. I'm gonna be honest. I did not know it was raining that serious. I mean, I didn't know it was to that degree where cars and stuff is underwater. I didn't know
that.
Let
me tell. Okay, so I'm gonna share a little bit about my weekend. So after I left where I was at, it was me and several other people. It was downtown Detroit. Okay, and I don't typically live too far from downtown Detroit, but it took me an hour and a half to get home.
Wow.
Because everywhere you turn, they had all the freeways cut off. And then everywhere you turn, like you said, Tone, you saw cars on the side with the hazards on. It's like 3-4 cars submerged in water, at least up to the top of the door under the viaducts.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Wow. I didn't even know it rained that serious. I didn't know it even rained that, bro. But it did, huh? Wow. It actually did. I'm trying to find me another light. But yeah. Whatever.
You can respect water, but people forget, you know, what 3/4 of the earth, the power of water. People take it light. Water is powerful.
Yeah.
Well, you know, funny you said that because I was thinking about that, and I was saying to myself, I mean, if that was how many days? That was just one day of rain, wasn't it? Was it just one? I mean, oh my God!
That was one day.
Was it 1 or 2 days? Was it 1 or 2 days?
One.
It was one day, but it rained hard the entire
time.
Day.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Shame on this sewage. And whatever I don't know what you call that, the pumps or whatever, the sewage. I mean, is it a backup issue where it's so poor?
So. I just think
they said
do that everywhere though.
Right, because they said if we would have kept on, the city, they said they were at capacity. If it would have kept on, they couldn't handle it. Like you said, Tom, because I was wondering, don't they got drainage systems or what's going on?
Yeah.
They said if it would have did any more, it would have been catastrophic. They couldn't handle no more.
Wow. And now that speaks to, this an old system? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I do think too, infrastructure has a lot to do with it. That's why they're trying to pass this bill now, because the infrastructure in a lot of these cities are old and are in need of upgrading, updating. And if you add on global warming, it's making conditions even more severe. So, yeah.
That's crazy right there. Wow. I mean, that's insane. Cause I was thinking about that. I said, I mean, one day and I'm gonna be honest. At first I didn't believe it. I seen a semi truck. I mean, the semi truck was like, I mean, it was like submerged. And I'm like, come on, man. One day, and I thought about it, I said, imagine if it rained for 30 days straight. Mm. We all be hit. If that was a one-day deal, imagine 30 days. You know what I mean? Imagine. I was like, that was terrible. Lord. They need to do. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, hopefully something will. I don't know if it's just a nature thing or it was just a a bad situation with the I don't know, receptacle. I don't know what the sewer. I don't know what you would call it. They need to get that dealt with. But I guess it shows you where most cities are in terms of their infrastructure, if that's the reason, and not just nature making this thing go down the way it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I digress from that. That was just, I thought that would be interesting. But you know, getting into this next topic, before we do that, I'm gonna plug because my wife, they having a podcast that's going to be coming out.
We'll begin airing on I believe it's August the 5th, Thursday of let me just get the date right.
I thought you would know your stuff about her by now.
Well, I just yeah.
So anyways, a podcast is
August the 5th.
August the 5th.
6 p.m. on YouTube.
And I'm saying that more to the audience when it's pre-recorded, it'll go out. You can tell your own business.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So yes, Her Story podcast is for women, women authors, women who have been through like lifetime traumas, childhood traumas, from molestation, from incest, from any type of childhood trauma you can imagine. So women coming on, sharing their stories, sharing their journeys, sharing their triumphs, things that, you know, they can't come out of and been delivered, been set free, and living that successful life. So we're going to kind of just be catering to all of that, all of the women.
And then you want them to subscribe.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Well, I want that ad to play.
Let's play that first video, Jasmine, the very first one that we shot, the interlude, the first one. And yeah, guys, and I'm doing this for that podcast so that you guys want to tune in. If you're a woman dealing with whatever it is, I mean, these are going to be book authors. They so booked up. We're booked up
all the way to February 2022.
That's how far they booked
still
up.
Have more people that want to come on the show that we have.
I mean, that's crazy. So they even have endorsements already have said that they waiting on
our at least 10 shows.
10 shows to go under the belt. I mean, so it's going to be. I'm saying that more for the women out there. Obviously, men wouldn't probably watch, but it's more for women. If you're interested in healing. Definitely check out that show. Book authors is going to be coming on. White, black, mental health professionals, right? Is going to be coming on. Do you have that prompt ready to go?
That's awesome, Lady B. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Go back, run it back. Where's the audio? I don't hear anything.
Hello, my name is Nat Michelle, and I am the host of Her Story podcast.
Hi, I'm Tara Tucker. I'm the co-host.
Be free,
be bold, be her. We're so excited to present Her Story podcast to you.
We believe Her Story podcast is going to be life-changing for women who are currently in or have had some sort of trauma and it has adversely affected them in one way or another. Tara and I both are faith-filled women with our very own journeys and testimonies. God saw it fit for both of us to embark on this journey together. We believe every woman has a story to share that could possibly help the next woman. Right, Tara?
That's right, Nat. Her Story podcast is for women that defied the odds and came out on top with the help of God. We'll be discussing various topics, everything from traumas to encouragement for daily living. We'll invite women of faith who are authors to come on the show and share their personal stories of faith, triumphs, trials, and testimonies. This podcast was created with the desire to mend a broken generation of women with the love of Christ. A generation of hidden tears, unspoken words, open wounds, and closed and broken hearts.
We believe anything that is built must be built on a solid foundation. Her Story podcast was built on Psalm 66 and 16. Come and hear, all you who fear God, and I will tell what he has done for my soul. The Bible says it's the good things about God that leads men to repentance. Also joining us monthly will be mental health professionals that will be on hand to help. We will begin airing weekly starting August the 7th. If you would like to be a guest on our show, please contact us at herstoryofficialpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, contact us and tune in weekly starting August 7th, because not only will we be discussing repentance, deliverance, forgiveness, healing, and more, we will be covering some hard areas that we don't normally like to talk about.
No more sweeping things under the rugs, ladies. No more shame. You deserve God's healing. We hope that you would be inspired by Her Story podcast. Stay tuned and remember to contact us at herstoryofficialpodcast@gmail.com if you would like to be a guest. Also, do not forget to like and share on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. See you later. God bless. So, as you guys can see,
it's
gonna be amazing.
Hey, Lovely T, have you emailed them yet? Because you got a whole bunch of stories. You got like 15, 20 stories. Lord,
listen, the story of the day that coming is so heated up. Oh my God! I mean, it's some deep stuff. It's some deep stuff, but it's focused on healing.
That's wonderful. You can get into some real good, deep, conversations.
Yeah, and it's focus on healing the woman.
And I like what was great, Tasha, is that it feels, you know what, I can come into this safe zone. I mean, the whole presentation is warm, that, we're compassionate, and you can come share your story in a safe space with us. So it really feels, when I see it, I feel, I almost want to tell the story.
But it
does. It's really good. So I think y'all, I think like you said, it's needed. So that's hot.
So guys, check out that show. Jazzy, plug that in, because I'm getting that after effect from that speaker. But check it out. It's coming soon. Go subscribe to the page.
At Her Story Official Podcast across all social media platforms.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, we'll get it. And listen, guys. We'll talk about that offline. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, do you guys got anything going on or anything that's interesting that you guys want to share now? Was anything going on that we want to plug and put out here?
Not at this moment.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Lovely T? You have anything you want to plug? Okay. All right. So, but we'll get off into the show, guys. This topic I want. Should we go with a video, or should we just go ahead and talk about it first?
Yeah, we can play a little clip of the video that I have there. Producer, if you can play that short video.
I want to jump on Sleepy Joe, but I ain't even gonna do it. I'm ready to tell him.
We're doing the infrastructure.
Oh man, no, that's some other stuff on the sun.
Opening the door of a boardroom, and you see everyone sitting around the table, and everyone is a white male. In this day and age, you say what to yourself?
I say so much opportunity. I say so much opportunity. Do they realize what part of the segment of the world they're missing? Do they realize the discretion that comes with the income that's available that they're missing? Do they, and it's you look at different subpopulations and go, we're not even tapping that. We don't have representation to help bring that voice to major decisions we're making for a company. How can it's very simple. I go back to myself. I would tell my kids, I'm trying to always figure out how to be your mother. I can't tell you how to be a man. That should come from your father. It's very similar. It's looking at that, like, they can probably talk about what they know, but what is it that they don't know? And, the big piece, this is learning, the big piece is we don't know what we don't know. So if you are limiting the thinking in a room based off of one group, man, shame on you. It's just a missed opportunity. So if I walk into a room and I see that, I'm like, right away, because I spot it right away. It could be all women. It could be, the same race. It could be anything. It could be the same age. It could be younger people. I'm like, where's your wisdom? So it happens all over. And I think everybody should ask that question. Who's not at the table? That will help us make a better decision, and that can move us ahead.
All right.
You want to go far?
So our topic today is diversity, inclusion. So the death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, Rayshard Brooks, and so many other Black Americans has brought the long history systematic racism in the United States into sharp focus over the past several months. Pressure is mounting on corporate leaders to consider how their companies can address and rectify ongoing racial injustices. So what are the factors that perpetrates the continuing underrepresentation of Black professionals on boards? And what can be done to change the systems that enforce these disparities? So we're going to kind of talk about, having that diversity inclusion. It was a LinkedIn post that actually is still going on right now. Someone wrote right here, my CEO says he values diversity, but our executive team is 100% white with only one woman. Can we still say we care about diversity? So what do you guys think about that? If this CEO of a company is saying, oh yeah, we value it and we want this, but when you look, their whole executive team is 100% white with only one woman. What would you guys think of that? Would you think that company is being truthful? And then I heard a lot of them say, well, it's not about the color. It's not about the gender. It's not about any of that. It's about the qualification. So what if you had a company and you was in their shoes and you were thinking about, do you think it's about just qualification only? Of course we know it is, but what do you guys think about that?
Or should it be?
Should it be?
Well, should it be about qualification only? No, I think there's a lot of things to consider. Because I'm thinking from a business perspective. I believe that your board or your leadership continuum should be reflective of who you're serving. So when you have a business, you should reflect whom you're serving. So qualification, the diversity of your employees should reflect whom you're serving. And also what the lady said, I do think when you have different cultures of different age groups, different nationalities, and different experiences, I do believe it brings that necessary experience to the table, because you don't want your thinking to be this unilateral, just from one perspective. I think in business, I think you need to have multiple minds at the table. I think that will create more of an opportunity for your business to flourish when you have multiple ideas. So I think you're hurting yourself not having a diverse senior leadership, because sometimes these same persons who are primarily white, say Walmart, I haven't looked, but I'm sure their board is mostly whites, but there's a lot of Black folk in the stores at the cash registers, and a lot of Black folks who are patronizing these multi-billion-dollar companies. But I think it should reflect. I think I just read something the other day. It was some employees with who is it? What's that online people right now? You all Amazon.
Yeah.
I was reading stuff about that. People, they're saying that it's they purposely. There was some testimonies about the middle management hire in terms of they expect the constant turnaround of people and people of color get to a certain point, but they know they can bring other people in at a lower level and not necessarily have to promote Black folk or people of color in Amazon. So,
yeah, I guess for me, even listening to that article or the video, I guess we dealing with a situation where I guess this was a big deal on social media, where they had a problem with African Americans being a part of these boards.
Well, I'm going to read some of their comments here. Okay. It says, I want the best person to have the job. Then someone said, why does the skin color or gender diversity mandate have to be in place? Who cares if the person is a male or female, straight or gay, white or Black or something else? Bring on the best person for the team, regardless of what race or gender or background that they may have. Then also someone said, I think what she's getting well, let me go. Someone said, from a business mindset, though this is not really done, it should be the best person for the job. Age and all that shouldn't matter. From a business mindset, the goal is increasing the profitability of the business.
And see, I think that what happens is when we get in those situations, when we are saying these type of things, that we understand that who is running these corporations. It's not a lot of black faces that run corporations or even sit on boards, to be honest. Are you using that to say that we already know who come from these top name colleges? This, the Stanford, we're Howard, all of these big colleges, and they're leaving school, and their fathers or whatever, and they get in these positions and these friends, and they're getting in these positions, shedding out someone who of African descent that may be able to, that may not be able, who have to work very, very hard just to sit at the table to pour the coffee, so to speak. So what are you saying, that racism doesn't play a factor in this situation? Because it does. Well, racism does play a factor. My qualifications may not be seen because you're looking at my color. And then you think I'm inadequate because of who I am to say that, no, I don't want this black person running my corporation. I'm not saying that all of them feel that way, because there are black CEOs, and we know some of them now. That's for big companies, we want to say their names, but we know some now that they do. So that is something that does happen. They are black CEOs that run major companies. So we're not saying that, but the majority, come on now, what happens? I think we have a
Let me say this real quick. Renee Sanders, thank you Renee for joining us via LinkedIn. Her comment is right. Make it the best. No color or gender should be considered. This racial divide is caused by political bias and abuse. Think about it. It's been going on for too many years. Thank you for Renee. And I do have a question for you, Renee. Well, and maybe you can type in before Lovely T. My question is, I made a comment earlier, Renee, when I mentioned if you have a business that served, for example, a particular community, should the community that this business serves, say, for example, if it's a business that's owned by white men, they have white employees, they have white board, but they're in the black community. Do you think it'd be fair there should be some representation on those boards that reflect their very community, so they can have so that community can have a voice represented at the table? So Renee, just kind of comment your thoughts on that. I'm just wondering what you think about that. Go ahead, Lovely T. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say this sounds a lot like the affirmative action argument. And I think the constant, battle is going to be, what is that sweet spot? So at what point, when you look at that board, or you look at the composition of the staff on each level, do you say we have arrived, right? And so I think you have to do both, RW3, in my opinion. You have to certainly have a staff that represents the community you're serving, but recognizing the diversity within that community, and making sure that that's, represented. Also allowing room for, allies to sit at the table, because although they haven't gone through our experience, they may offer a different perspective. Who knows? Like you say, having diversity at the table creates space for diverse thinking, and out of that diverse thinking can come great things, right? So I think it's a battle of both, or a matter of both. And the argument is like, where is that sweet spot? The organization I work for is headed by African-American male, but and then leadership is actually a little diverse, more than I've seen in past years. But as you look at different ranks in different areas, you still see like a lack of diversity, you know, and so why, you know,
now
that's my opinion, but somebody else may look at our organization and say, oh, you guys are awesome, you're so diverse. So it's like, what is that definition of, okay, you've arrived at the perfect diverse makeup within your organization?
And you know, a lot of times you see, and I don't know if your organization is it a 501c3, but a lot of times you see 501c3s in certain communities ran by blacks. Just like Herman Kiefer, when I worked there, I mean, black. I mean, anywhere it seemed like, and I'm not saying the truth, but 501c3s, I noticed you see a lot of CEOs in the city. Yeah, they sit on boards, and because that's a help to the community. And that's another thing. I think that it depends on what type of business that it is. It is some businesses, if it serves the community, then, and that community is predominantly African Americans, then obviously I would think that you would put those people on the board because of that mindset to help serve that community. But if it's something that doesn't really play into the community, probably not so much. You know what I mean? It could be that I'm there for a tax break. I mean, it's there because this was a cheaper building for me to move in. But I'm just here and I pay my taxes. So there's a lot of people that can think that way and say, I don't have to, I can put whoever I want on the board. You know what I mean? You know
what, Tone, let me throw this out here. Just not saying my thinking, just for the point of argument. Now, do you all think, and I just thought about it, if you are a entrepreneur, a business owner, say you own a corporate, you own it, you can decide, because if you're private, like you said, Tone, not public, not getting taxpayers' money, you're strictly dealing with supply and demand, and you're dependent on the marketplace. So right. Here you are, you say, well, I can hire who I want. I don't have to hire no blacks. I don't have to be diverse or whatever. And if you don't like it, you cannot patronize me and force me in the market to do something different. But if we keep patronizing, they say, well, I got this non-diverse board and I'm coming to your community, you're still patronizing me, and I'm not forced to be diverse. So the market can require that you do something different, but if you continue to patronize and not demand something different, why would the person who's, like you always say, if I'm a capitalist, if you ain't messing with my money, why should I even change?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a big deal, and it does matter. It could be a little tricky in some areas in terms of, is it based on, are you not hiring me because of being a racist, or is it hired because I'm not qualified? But here's the thing. Yeah, it's obvious. But let me ask you this. Isn't it obvious that the person should be qualified to run the company? That's obvious. I mean, that's obvious. To sit on the board. That just obvious. A foolish person should know that. You want somebody qualified running the company. So that goes without saying. But it's more than just that. That's that excuse. You know what I mean? That's that excuse to say, we want her to be qualified. Okay, well, make sure it's fair. Make sure that it's fair, that you're using right practices to put these people in position, and you're not trying to use this as an excuse because you just don't want nobody black running your company. You know what I mean? Make it like the young people. I always say, like the young people say, make it make sense. You know what I mean? Make it make sense.
And I'm quite sure it's out of one person, out of that 100% white board, it's got to be one black qualified person.
It has to be.
Or and it depends on 20%. I take it back again to the processes, and there's always room for improvement. So I'm not trying to point fingers, but if you only post on one website, let's say Indeed.com, and expect to, you know what I mean? Like, what have you intentionally done? Yes, you post on Indeed, but if you are serious about diversifying or finding the diversity within the people you serve, go on the websites that they're more familiar with, that are, culturally specific, and post there. Increase your chances of finding qualified, Tone, like you say, candidates, you know, that are from various backgrounds. But if all you do is post on one website, but you claim, oh, you know, because a lot of will claim, well, we can't find, like when they were building downtown, when they were building the stadium, and they had to have a percentage of people be from the community. Their argument was, we searched, we couldn't find anyone who's qualified. So what are you doing? If you can prove that, then, you know, I think to a certain level, we have to be satisfied, because at least you've executed a process that was equitable and made an effort.
But you know, and let me jump in, and not to defend it, but even in those cases when I was reading, and the city was saying this, even the mayor and some, about how, and again, please hear what I'm saying, is they said a lot of the population in the city they were drawn from, they were failing drug tests and unqualified. And this is what the city maybe should have done more or whatever, but when they were drilling into the population in the city of Detroit, trying to get people, they said people were coming and, you know, drug tests and qualifications and, you know, and so from which they were pulling from, they said they were struggling trying to get to that percentage. So that is a factor as well. Not 100%, but that was a factor as well. Tone, I saw you shaking your head.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, it does still make sense, but in terms of a CEO, you know what I mean, or sitting on the board, obviously you wouldn't be looking for drug people, crackheads. You know what I mean? I mean, you would be looking for those. You would go to those locations to put the right people in position. I hope you're not looking in a drug addictive station areas to run a big CEO. I would hope you would be doing that, or shame on you. You know what I mean? I mean, there's people out there that's qualified for these positions. Here's the thing: the company and the board matters. The board definitely matters. Who's sitting on that board? Is it a bunch of racists on that board? And maybe I'm gonna be honest. Maybe they're not racist. Maybe they just foolish. Maybe it's just, everybody is not racist. It could be. It could just be a foolish. You're just foolish in this area to even
I agree with you on that, Tone. Every issue when there's racial disparity, is not, everybody's not a racist. I agree with you.
It's just the way they think. You know what I mean? It's the way they're thinking, because that's what they're used to. They're used to someone like them running companies, and they may say that, hey, these people know what they're doing and they have the experience. And granted, they might, because they have that power. They're in power to put people on their board that's not of an African descent. You know what I mean? Where they can put more of their own people on boards and hire them as CEO and look at a success rate. I guess everybody who runs a company wants success. That's the purpose of you, and you want the best person qualified for the job. I get that. But if you give some other person a chance just to see, just to see, I mean, look at their track record. I mean, you should look at the track record, obviously. I mean, look and see what they bring to the table. I'm quite sure that you can find someone out there that's not white, you know, that is black, you know, and I don't even know if you even see any other nationality, like Indians or whatever, on boards or whatever. I don't know, maybe so, but I mean, it's kind of weird. But you know, I wanted to say this, guys. Joe Biden had it plays into what we saying here, but recently Joe Biden had he had made a statement. I thought it was just idiotic, where he was talking about, I'm trying to find it. It has something to do with reparations, saying that you're not getting it. He said you're not getting it. Now that he's on the board, now he's president of the United States, and that was one of the biggest issues that people talked about. He's saying, well, let me quote from this article. But he turned around and took care of the Asian community and gave them millions of dollars. This was recent. This was recent. He gave the and I'm not hating on the Korean Asian companies or whatever, but he given them money, but he told us don't count it What is this measure to? Okay, that's something else. Oh my God, I got so many things to say about this guy right here. But it's what did that say right there?
It's okay. Biden privately tells lawmakers not to expect much on reparations legislation. The president weighed in on a race relation more bluntly than any of his predecessors during his speech Tuesday, but he also set expectations low for congressional action.
Congressional action. But then he turned around. I'm not done. Then he turns around and he feeds the Asian community. And he talked about this. Can you see that right there? If that's the right one, Jay? Okay. He called out how can you see that right there?
Mm-hmm. He called out how through the years there have been members in elected office who were very public about their association or membership with the KKK. Rep. Corey Bush said in the parking lot of the Greenwood Cultural Center. He set up the scene in his speech to take us into what was happening at that time. And that was really powerful.
What he was saying, here we go on here. He was talking about as a candidate, Biden's salary.
As a candidate, Biden said he supported a commission on reparations, but the administration has yet to endorse the actual bill. After his speech Tuesday, the president met with the members of the Congressional Black Caucus, who brought up the need for H.R. 40, which is named after the 40 acres and a mule, promise that now symbolizes the lack of support formerly enslaved people received from the federal government. According to those involved in the conversation, Biden let them down gently. He let them down gently. He said he didn't disagree what we're doing, said Representative Brenda, but the second vice president, he did talk about his plate being full with trying to get the infrastructure bill passed.
And I'm gonna show you something else. Look. That's what I want to talk about. Now all of a sudden your plate full. Your plate wasn't full before when you was running for president, but now all of a sudden your plate is so full. See, we always get the end of the stick. We always. Now I'm not done. So I'm not done. So now look what he do for the Asian community. Let's go here. Let's see if you can see this. Can you see this? I hate this little phone. No, it's this one right here. Now, what is the title? What did that say?
All right. White House announces a new measure to counter anti-Asian violence.
Oh, he stepped on a gun on this one. And now look what happened. What did he say?
All right. The Biden administration on Tuesday announced a set of measures responding to rising anti-Asian violence, including deploying $49.5 million from COVID-19 relief funds for U.S. community programs that help victims.
This is, and it's not done. It goes even farther. What do you say here?
All right. The Biden administration on Tuesday, I just read that. White House officials said in a statement that the Department of Justice is also focused on raising a number of hate crimes targeting Asian Americans.
Now, look, how many black people have been gunned down in the street? But you want to put us on hold and say, wait a minute, my plate is full. I'll get back to you. But then you turn around and this Asian thing pops out, and now you flooding 49 million. And then you make the statement, we got to put an end to this. We got to stop this now. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to give you my opinion and what I believe the reason why this would be that statement. And I'm going to jump out there and say this. The reason why is it goes back to this topic when we're talking about black people, not enough black people sitting on boards and CEOs. It's because black people are powerless. Now, there's another article in here that state that fact, that black people are powerless. They don't have any leverage in this capitalist society in terms of ownership. Yeah, we have spending power, all right. We spend a whole lot of money. We don't have a problem spending. But listen, the Asian community, kudos to them. You know what? Listen, they are in power. They are in our African American communities. They're running businesses in those communities. They have the China who backs their own people. who have the power to back their own people, and they make sure that those people are in power. Even where I live at, listen, I was in a store the other day. I'm not going to give the name of the store. I was in the store the other day buying some burdock. Burdock is an herb, real good for your health. It's just big old, it's like a branch, a tree. I mean, like a tree, a branch, and you break it off and you boil it, and then you drink it. It's really good for your body and everything, right? But when I was in there, this is an Asian store, grocery store. All you seen was Asians in that store. I think I've seen probably one or two black people in this whole store, and this is in the area where it's in Novi. It's in Novi, so it's a lot of white folks, but they support their own. That's what I'm getting at. They support their own. They are making sure that this store is making money so that they can put the supplies in there so that they can still buy the products that pleases them, that they like. We don't have power. We don't own it. And this is why Joe Biden can jump on a situation like this and say, hey, listen, we got to take care of the Asian community. Because guess what? They're doing great things in their communities, and they have the buying power, the money to make these things happen. We're shut out of a lot of areas because of where we are. Now, there's another article that states that the black man would be at zero wealth. It doesn't matter if you own it. It only matters if you have a degree or whatever it is that they said that they put us on the flight by 2053, that the black financial I disagree. Money would be at a zero. Didn't matter if you have a college degree or not, and they were showing the difference between the black community, or far as the black woman versus the white woman, how the black woman was making only $11,000. She was making $11,000, where the white woman was making almost $100,000 more. And these people all had degrees. So I'm telling you, we're in this situation where we have to get our thing together. It's so much. We don't own anything. We got so much potential.
Like we got the
so
talent. We got
so
the talent.
Talent.
We can do all. We can
so
write. We
talent.
Can sing. We can dance. We can everything. But everybody else is getting rich off of our, know, our talents.
Getting rich off our talent.
So.
And I think, and guys, you could jump into here on these art. But here's the thing. I'm gonna chew that up while I can and spit it out. You know, I don't even know what to say. We have to stop being I don't want to use the word hard-headed. Maybe I should use the word hard-headed. Maybe I mean hard-headed. Where we think that these presidents is for the black community, when they've proven themselves time and time after, over and over again, that they're not. Because we don't have enough power within our community to build an infrastructure to say, hey, listen, this is how it's going down. But guess what? Joe Biden is in office because of the black person. He ain't in office because of he's in office because of black Democrats put him there. That's why Joe Biden is president right now. And he even said it. He said that he's president because of the black, the African-American vote. He said it. But you guys always have my back. Always have my back.
I can go pull that one up, man. I got y'all back.
And see, all I'm saying, listen.
Stabbing y'all in the back. That's about it.
Right, but I'm saying is, whether it be a Republican, whether it be a Democrat, that's where I'm getting at. I'm not going to shoot on a Democrat or Republican. I'm just saying, when black people come together and start supporting their own, and saying, hey, listen, this is what we need to do because we got the talent. So many bright, intelligent black people out here with education degree. That's why I'm saying it's hard to find a person with a degree. It's how many black people you know in college or went to college or graduated from. It's too many of us out here. So all I'm saying is that what are we going to do? But we better do something sooner than later. You know what I mean? We have to come together. We have to start supporting each other more and more and more. And I'll say this before I let anybody else trick in. I think what was my man name? The rapper. I can't think of it. In Atlanta, Killer
Man.
Killer Mike.
Yeah. They said that he went on we're not buying black. He was, just only buying black instead, but he couldn't find. It was so hard for him. He couldn't find a change. But then there was another couple, a family who wanted to do it for 1 year, and they struggled. They said that they had to drive so far just to support our own people. And we think, listen to what I'm saying, and I still think there's some mess in this, but I'm gonna just put it out like this: we still think that it's all about the degree. We still believe that. Heard this guy say, he said, listen, you go to school, you get the degree, you owe the money to pay the degree back, just so you can get the job. You get the job, you get the car. After the car, you get the house, and now you're working to pay it all back. Mm-hmm. How much shit? That's the American dream. That's the actual American dream. To own a house,
nightmare or a dream.
Yeah, but look at all the debt you're in now, because you're so busy thinking that's why you have another group of people who is giving it they say, hey, I'm going to put you over here. Okay, here, I got some more money where I'm going to take you and put you over here, and we're going to build this and lock this structure in. I'll send your kids to school, but we're going to take care of this area of this infrastructure where now I'm going to give you some money so that you can start that business over there. I don't even want to have to say their names of who doing this. I don't want to say that. But what I'm saying is we got to wake up. Yeah, we going to school. I see us on social media. We graduated from college. Yeah. But we're in debt. And we still the same way we did.
I would say that, as the generations, like you figure for a lot of us, especially like even I'll say in my age cohort, we're still first generation completing college. So it's not like, even though it's, been around for a long time, it's not like you still have a large majority of African Americans with degrees. So I'm like, okay, let's not just say that, we've saturated education, because we haven't. There's still room for that. And my thing is creating choice. Like, what we seek shouldn't be homogeneous. It should be diverse. So there should be many pathways for us. And so we are represented in the business sector. We are represented in, our own communities, having our own healthy communities. But if we want to permeate whatever business, whatever realm of existence, we should be able to do that without roadblocks because of the color of my skin. To me, that's what it's about at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I don't think we are all meant to go through college and get a degree either. Some of us are going to, be able to have that entrepreneurial mind and have connections, or have art. Now we're in a position where our families have connections and they can make that pathway a lot easier for us, just like they do, for other cultures. But again, for me, it's about opportunity. And it's about having that opportunity not hindered or challenged because of the color of my skin, but what my gender, or whatever else.
Yeah, but what if we create our own opportunities instead of
instead of looking for a handout?
That's what I'm saying. It's all of that. Like we have to, and I've said this so many times on podcasts, we have to stop thinking either or. We can walk and chew gum at the same time, people. We can build up our own, and we can go and become the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, regardless of color, regardless of gender. We can do both.
But let me ask you this: but when is that going to happen? See, here's the thing to me. I know we can, but we're not doing it like we should. We're raising our family where the narrative is go to school. That's the narrative. That's the whole thing. Go to school. Oh, no. If you say, well, I'm going to do, no, go to school.
No, the narrative is to have multiple streams of income.
Well, now it is. Now it is. At that time, it wasn't. It was go to school. Just go to school. Just go to school. And we built that up. But, okay, so what do we do after? Because I know so many people who are still struggling with degrees. So my thing is that could you say that was the reason? Could you say not that's the reason? Could you say that potential that you had in you or still have in you, whether to just go to school or whether to cultivate whatever that gift is that you have in you so that you can gain wealth instead of going to school. Okay, I went to school. I mean, I guess all that is frustrating because we haven't gotten it yet. We don't get where we are, and we're still trying to fight to get our place. It's like we're still trying to fight to get our seat. That's never going to come.
At the table.
It's never going to come. That seat at the table that we're fighting for is never going to come until we start building our own table and our own seat, just like the Koreans do, just like the Arab people do. You go in Dearborn. Driving, I dare you to drive in Dearborn and see what this is my argument. How come we don't have a Dearborn in Detroit, which it should be? Why there's not a Dearborn in Detroit? They've got that thing locked up. You drive around the corner, Arabic.
Actually,
another Arabic. Up the street, another Arabic. So, they've sold out. Listen, right now in Dearborn, those people in Dearborn, if they did not want to drive out of their town for probably I don't know how many hours, they don't have to. They can get their own food. They can get their own food supply. They can get their own hygienic, whatever medication. They can get whatever it is, furniture, cars. They can get whatever they want in their own community if they really wanted to. Why we're not like that? Why aren't we like that? Why are we not like that in our own city? Because guess what? I believe we still trying to prove a point and make our own seat in other people's atmosphere. We're trying to place ourselves at the table to be accepted.
We're not invited.
Exactly, and not invited until we start making it happen ourselves. People, I don't care what we say. And guess what? The government shows us that every 4 years. They show us that every 4 years when we're not, I don't know. Maybe it's not meant to happen. Maybe it's not meant to happen.
They were trying to attack Ice Cube. And this is the thing. I understand, and getting the whole thought out. When he says, okay, he's working on infrastructure. And in terms of being on his plate, because in terms of having an agenda, this is my beef with him. I 100% agree that based on how the Senate is, and with that 49-50 split, my issue with Biden is, well, let the Senate, because this already came out of committee. So we need you to push it. Let the Senate vote it down. That way we know what senators who said no to it. But we don't need you at the gate, not even pushing the agenda. So you can't control McConnell and all that nonsense in the Senate. But what you can do is meet with the caucus and say, look, we need to push this thing. It's already out of conference. We need to push it through the House. We need to figure out what can we do strategically. African Americans, you all put me in here. Let's get this thing going. Then if the Senate votes it down, or if it don't make it to the floor, but it's not because of your lack of effort. Even if you do like Trump did. Trump was right, executive order. Bro, do an executive order for something. Do something.
But
don't shoot us down at the gate.
Exactly. So now let me ask you this. Do you think, and I want your opinion on this, do you believe that he knew he wasn't going to do this, but he talked a good game like all the rest of them? Why is it always us who get the end of the stick?
You know what I mean? Yes, I knew. In order for these, that's why I say at the presidential level, if we don't start dealing with people at city, state, county, and some of these who have some direct accountability, expect anything from the House, Pelosi, anybody in that area is just, we're out of our mind. They've shown us for years upon years that they use us to get them in office and don't follow through.
But we still ain't. When we gonna learn though? Right. But what I'm saying is, why would, let me ask you this, why would we ever put our own party together? I mean, just think about it. Why we would never put our party together? Why we wouldn't even try? The same thing we use it on Biden, we can use it on our own self. Why we won't even try to put our own party together? Why we wouldn't try? But to see what act to say, guess what? And I'm saying this early. To say, you know what? I'm not voting for neither one of you jokers. Guess what? I'm ready to stand for a party that represent me, to say, hey, listen, I'm going to support this individual. Listen, even if it doesn't work, guess what it does do? It builds that power structure up, just like social media, where you got all these followers. It builds that to say, wait a minute, there's a whole lot going on. We need their vote. We need to go over here. Why we wouldn't even think about it? The first thing we say is, well, you know, you got to go vote. You got to go vote. And they still stick you in your backside. And then you saying another, yeah, we got to go vote. When are we going to change? I'm not going to say that I didn't see this coming. I did see it coming. And there's more. They even got Joe Biden's son on an old clip on this one Rumble. I think it's called Rumble, where Joe Biden's son allegedly is talking in the video. We're saying he smoked crack with Marion Barry. You know what I mean? Where he was and it's him talking on the thing, talking about his crack addiction and how he went to go smoke crack with Marion. And there was a lot more stuff connected with that. I mean, I'm gonna say allegedly. I'm not going. It's allegedly was said through and all. So I mean, I'm just saying these guys been up to no good from the beginning, and they're gonna still be up to no good until we step up. I'm gonna be honest. I'm getting discouraged. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna even say this. To me, I feel like it's not even meant. I just believe that. I believe it's not meant for us. I believe
you can't just give up.
But listen what I'm saying. I'm not giving up on black people, but I am saying that I don't think that is meant. I mean, because if it did, it would have happened every time we get decided. I believe that it is what it is. That's the word I'll use. I believe for us, our people, it is what it is. What you see is what it is. And because it's like, we're hard-headed. We're stubborn but people. We're more concerned about our own bottom line than actually growing as a people. And I really believe that we're more concerned about our bottom line than us as a collectively growing together, which that's where real power is at. It's not in your personal bottom line. It's in growing together as a group of people, because that's who make it in this Americas.
And I would make an argument though that I do see the little what do you call the baby plant sprouting out, if you will. I mean, with upcoming generations, they even had it on the news. Things like reparations, even though it's still not popular. I think the percentage was like 48 to, whatever else. That percentage was still amongst like 18 to 30 year olds, right? But when you compared it to like 30 and up, the percentage dropped dramatically. But basically what that means is that the issues of the young folk will eventually be, in the next 5 to 10 years, the main topics and the main issues of the day. You know what I mean? And the younger folks believe in reparations. So I see change. It is not going to be easy. Remember, our wonderful people have had 400 plus years head start. We are, with each opportunity we have to make the best of it, and we have to get in better positions, like you say, Tone, to bring ourselves together, to make ourselves powerful in the economic realm and every other realm, so that we're heard and we're listened to, and we actually make an impact for them to hear us and know that we're serious. So anyway,
I will hope that we will start in the city of Detroit, because I'm gonna be honest, gentrification is very, very big within the city of Detroit. Though it's been taken over. It's taken over. You know what I mean? It's not. And I believe if we don't start, whatever you say that these young people are doing, if we don't start it now, you're gonna look up and you're not gonna see downtown. It's already getting that way. Why our downtown should be like Atlanta. Atlanta itself, Georgia is big, Atlanta, but that down, it's not as big as you think it is. But we should be like the city of Atlanta. Our African American. I mean, right. It's too late. So it's been so swamped now with Caucasians. And I'm not, listen, this is not a hate. This is not a hate, but it's a shame that it's sad that we live within our own community and yet we own nothing within that community. And who do we blame? Who do we really? Now, I'm going to be honest. We always, kudos, we always blame the white man. We're quick to blame the white man. Oh, it's the white man's fault. It's because I can't. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's not the white man. It's your fault. It ain't the white man. It's your fault. It's my fault. If we take our money, look at all this look at all this money that all these people got, this PPP money. I've been hearing people getting $400,000, if they don't go to jail from all that. But anyway, I hear all these people, all these big numbers. What are you doing with it? Are you just flossing, buying cars and clothes?
Let me show you. Let me put it on Facebook and show you what I got.
It's retarded.
I got this new house. I got this new car. That's all they want to do all day. You know,
the narrative has to change.
What you do with your PPP? Did you get a Range Rover or what with your PPP money?
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me, RW3?
Because y'all notice every time we talk to her, she's outside of her house spending more money, and she got these lands. She at the next level. That PPP ain't going to her business. But I digress. What you saying, Don?
I mean, I'm just using that to say that when you go downtown is a reflection of what's going on in our city. Downtown is a reflection of what's going on in our city and with our own people. It's gonna be see. We model. Listen, you can't.
And the name of the game is. Let me tell you. Another quick little story over my birthday weekend. Went to a wine tasting at a building that's in the city of Detroit. And they want like $350,000 for like 500 square feet.
Yeah.
I want y'all to think about that.
We know it. Yeah.
$50,000 for a 500 and some odd change square feet of space. Yeah. I'm like, are you serious? And then you look out the window and you see what you see. You know what I'm saying? It's certainly not $250,000 view, but what it tells me is, oh, there's more to come. Because guess what? This is just the first one, and the gentrification has started. It started in the heart, but now you see it kind of spreading
out. Area.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, people was telling me about. I forgot what actually area in that area. They told me somebody was asking for like $600,000 for something. I said, what? Well, I forgot what area they told me. I said, no.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they starting to.
Tracy, we were looking for property down there because we for lease. Now this was for lease because we wanted to expand the podcast brand where you can come in and do your own potting and different sections in it. I mean, oh my God! The
square footage wasn't even
it wasn't even as in business mind. A business mindset, you like that ain't no good deal because I mean I'm starting a business. I mean I don't know if this business is gonna be successful or not. Why would I pay out money that I can't afford to pay out? But that's for a reason.
That's for a reason.
You can believe that's for a reason. Some of these people have friends, Look, they got bankers. They got the right skin color where they have the credit line and the right person that approve loans. They know exactly what they're doing. I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's actually frustrating to me. I mean, literally, this thing is really frustrating to me to where I'm tired of seeing it. And then I'm tired of our people. Sometimes I'm tired of our people. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm just tired. Sometimes I get tired of our own people. You know what I mean? So it's just only because of the lack of understanding. You know, we so caught up in doing everything else while our city has been taken hostage. Only taken hostage. You know what I mean? As under siege. You know what I mean? Our city is under siege, and it's been taken advantage of. It's been taken advantage of, and I digress from that. guys. But anyway,
all right. So
all I would say, guys, is that all I would say is that guys, we digress from that that conversation and everything, and we rounding it up because we say we weren't gonna really do that much longer on the pod and everything, so these guys can get to know what they're. But guys, look, leave your comments. What do you think? What can we do? And this is not a racist conversation, but it's a truth conversation. Sometimes we just don't want to accept the truth. So what we need to do is leave comments. What do you think about what's going on even in the city? What's going on with our own people? What's going on with this politic world? What should we do? Should we continue to be Democrats, Republicans, or should we start a new party and say, hey, listen, this is what we're going to do, take it or leave it? What do you think about gentrification in your community, whether it be Flint, whether it be Detroit, whether it be Atlanta, wherever it might be, Chicago, wherever it be, Texas, Dallas, whatever it is, where is that? How is your community, and how are you making a difference in that community? Leave a comment. What do you think? What are some things that people should do? If you know people who are doing some things in that community, reach out to us so we can shine a light on it as much as we can with our little podcast, just to talk about what's going on, and maybe you might help someone else so they can start that same thing, or motivation, inspiration to move forward in that same area, guys. But listen, I digress, and from that as well.
Don't forget to share.
Yeah, don't forget to share.
Like our Facebook, follow us. All of that good stuff.
Yeah, and make sure you check out Her Story podcast. It's going to be coming.
It's going to be
out.
The first show will be airing August the 5th at 6 p.m. on YouTube at Her Story Official Podcast.
Yeah, guys, like and subscribe. Already getting subscribers on there. Automatically getting subscribers on there. Guys, check them out. And I guess RW3 out of here or something happened. But we're going, and lovely team. We'll see you guys.
Lovely day.
And take care, and
lovely day.
We'll see you later.
Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day.